this point. It is 7:06 and we do have a quorum. I'm going to list us off for the benefit of the recording. Timothy Perkins, Will Hobson, Kenny Cernak, Pablo Serrato, and Rachel Salo. We don't have any observers in the room at the moment. I think that switching to 7 o'clock has probably thrown everyone off. And so hopefully we'll be seeing better attendance next month.
Do you want to say Taylor messaged me? He said he forgot that the time did move up, so he'll be here in about an hour. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if the meeting is still going in an hour. Oh. All right. In that case, we are good to start. I don't have any minutes, but I do have an agenda which I sent out a very short time ago. Here is the agenda. If everyone would please look it over, tell me if there's anything that needs changed or added. Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll motion to approve the agenda.
Will moves. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kenny. Will moves. Kenny seconds. Is there objection? Hearing no objection, this will be our agenda for the evening. There are not minutes available to approve. I don't believe any business was conducted by email in between meetings. Open forum. Observers may speak on any agenda item. We don't have any observers at the moment. And of course, the directors can discuss the agenda items as they come up. I suppose if there's anything burning, we could discuss it real quick. Just that if you want it to be in this part of the meeting, otherwise we'll just keep moving along. All right. Reports of officers. I'm the chair. The election results have been interesting. I, of course, am a little disappointed to see that libertarians have generally not performed as well as we have in past years, both in terms of number of candidates running as well as the performance of each of those candidates. But I know that we have bright outlook for the future, and I look forward to 2024. Nationally, there's definitely been some libertarians getting elected, and you can go to lp.org and learn more about that there. I currently have a head cold, and so apologies if there's any coughs or what have you that come over the microphone. I'll try to keep those down. Taxation is theft, and if there's any questions for the chair, I'll take them now. Okay, hearing none, I just want to say for the recording that we also have William Johnson Jr. has come in. So we have 6 directors. All right, moving along, Vice Chair, Will.
Turn on my video for a little bit. Last night was election night, and we had 2 different concurrent Libertarian Party in-person events that were within reasonable driving distance of each other, and I actually had to choose between going to one event over the other, and that was kind of cool to actually have to be like, oh, which Libertarian in-person event do I go to? So that was a fun moment for me. I did eventually choose to obviously go to the closer one. We had a nice little dinner election night party at the Matador in North Portland. Pablo was there, so was Rista Rushford, Michelle Bird,
Candidate Shira Newman.
Shira Newman, thank you, and several others. Many of them members of the Multnomah County Party affiliate, and it was a good night. We got to talk. There wasn't a lot of election results. Pablo and I braved the cold to do a short podcast for the Oregon Libertarian Podcast outside of the Matador, which was kind of fun. And that I think just got. I don't know if I finished uploading it, but okay, I did finish uploading it. So yeah, it's available on all podcatchers now. But yeah, it was if it wasn't a great night for elections, it was at least every morale seemed to be high. So unfortunately, though, I think today, in the light of day, though, we are seeing at least on the ballot measures, a lot of ballot measures we probably would not prefer as libertarians have now passed. All of the major statewide ballot measures appear to be passing, including the 114 on has probably some of the most draconian gun control powers in, I would say, probably the United States, compared to any other states. And I have been reaching out to some gun advocacy groups like the Firearms Policy Coalition, which says that they are right now forming, getting together to bring legal action against the state on Measure 114 on Second Amendment grounds. And I did let them know that libertarians in Oregon are willing to help out and assist in that endeavor. And hopefully we'll be making contacts here soon. And yeah, that's probably good for now. We're trying to stay busy and build up for next cycle.
Right. I would say probably has affected it probably has had an effect on the Libertarian Party of Oregon's role in challenging these measures, that our public policy board only formed in the middle of September, just because of the timing from when it was adopted by the Libertarian Party of Oregon membership. But next time around, I look forward to the Libertarian or Party of Oregon really being able to come out swinging against stuff like this.
Indeed.
On the upside, 114 should amount to nothing more than a waste of state resources defending themselves in a lawsuit they will ultimately lose.
I also hope and expect that may be the case, given that it wasn't presented in the nature of a constitutional amendment.
Yeah. Well, and the Supreme Court's already ruled portions of it unconstitutional, so I don't see how it could possibly stand up.
In the meantime, I think it could be very damaging, though, to businesses if it's not stayed. So
it could, but I have to imagine that they'll get an injunction, given that parts of it are blatantly unconstitutional.
Okay.
See
I hope so
how
too.
any judge would let it go into effect.
We don't got great judges here in the state, so.
All right. Well, I just want to say for the recording that Michelle Bird has also joined the meeting as an observer, and we can move. Hello, thank you for coming. We can move along to the treasurer's report. Kenny.
Hello. So I'm way behind on my reporting, but I just checked the bank account and we have about $892.
Hey, that's better than I was expecting. I have a quick question. I received a piece of correspondence from the Secretary of State talking about fines and stuff. I assume you also have seen this and have probably dealt with it because that's what you usually do.
How long ago did you receive it?
It was, I want to say a couple weeks ago.
I don't know that I've seen it. I will look.
Okay, I will go back and it's since our last meeting. I'm quite sure about that. I'll go back and double check it and also check by email to see if there's something I could forward.
Thank you. I have missed one before, and they generally email me if I don't respond soon enough for them. So,
Right. All right. Thank you, Kenny. Are there any further questions for the treasurer? Okay, thank you again. All right, secretary's report. Taylor's not present. If he arrives before the end of the meeting, happy to give him a couple of minutes. Committees and directors. Campaigns committee. LJ is not present. I'll also note that he hasn't been present for a couple of meetings now, which is too bad relating to the season. Is there any discussion on campaigns?
I think we definitely need to solidify our campaign leadership. I too have not seen LJ or have heard anything from LJ. I know Peter was kind of the main point of contact, but I haven't heard anything from him in months. And at this point, I think going in now that the dust has settled on the camp on this election cycle and going into the years of prep till the next one, I really think we need to find someone to replace LJ on the campaign committee chair, and someone who's going to stick with it for the next couple of years and like learn the ropes and really be dedicated head of our campaign division. I don't have any confidence, unfortunately, at this point in LJ's time commitment. I'm sure he's a great guy, but he's does not seem to be able to commit to this project.
Michelle, just a moment. If there's no objection, an observer would like to speak, but if any director was going to say something, please go first.
oh, okay, I'll go first. I was just going to note that I think this cycle, the work that we did on the bylaws update sapped energy from the election season, which is unfortunate, but I think it was a necessary investment.
I agree.
Yeah, and
All right.
I, Pablo Serrato, would like to, if I can make a comment
Please.
about elections. I did, as part of the data committee work, take in the LPO voter data and make sure that any candidate that I
Michelle,
could get a hold of.
sorry, Michelle, can
get
you
it.
please mute your mic?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Thank you.
Go ahead, Pablo.
Yeah, I was in touch with LJ. I told him that I had LPO, I had voter data that if candidates needed data that they should reach out to me, and then I kind of fanned out from there from LJ to like other channels where I could reach LPO candidates. So I did check in with as many candidates as I could to make sure that they had at least data to go door knocking if they needed to. And so that's part of the, I think I'm not on the elections committee, but I did sort of make sure that our candidates had coverage.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Michelle, if you'd like to go ahead with that comment at this time.
Okay, yeah, I apologize. I was typing and I didn't realize that I was unmuted. I would like to volunteer to help with campaigning. I did take a course at LPO National or LP National for campaign management. But with my work obligations, it would most likely be part-time, and I would probably need some assistance because I'm really brand new at this, and I really don't want to mess it up because I'm the one who dropped the ball with John Newton's campaign by not forwarding his paperwork to you in a timely manner. I mean, granted, there was like 2 weeks left to respond, but I didn't foresee you having that emergency, and that was my bad.
So would you be interested in being put on the campaigns committee as a halfway measure, as like not necessarily making you the point person, but at least putting you on the committee? Or do
Yeah.
you, okay,
I think that's something we can do here right now,
Yes.
can we? Okay.
definitely.
I'll pull up the document and if once we make the motion. Well, then I motion to put Michelle Bird on the campaigns committee.
Second,
Will moves, Kenny seconds. Is there any objection? Hearing none. Thank you for volunteering, Michelle. It's appreciated. And I just want to say about that error, if you will, that I always think it's an asset to have volunteers or you know, in other contexts, employees or what have you that have made errors, because they're a whole lot less likely to repeat them. I think that that's actually a good thing to have had the experience of.
So just to give everyone an update, the campaigns committee now has me, LJ Mills, and Michelle Bird on there. Was there anyone else that we know of that should be on the campaigns committee that isn't?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. If
And go ahead.
sorry, I would actually like to make a motion at this time to remove LJ from the campaigns committee, and I
Okay.
will going forward I will take on the role in kind of an interim fashion
Sure.
until I can find someone else to replace me, because I did sign up for Run as a Libertarian recently, and I'm going to take some courses and campaign stuff just so I can have enough to get people started and get the ball rolling, because I'm not seeing anyone that is right now willing to be the point on this. So I will run point for now.
Okay. You're just to advise you, LJ is both a he kind of has three roles with campaigns in a way. He is a member of the campaigns committee, he is the chair of the campaigns committee, and he is the campaigns director. Sometimes chairs of committees are also directors so that they can interact with the board in a different way. Anyway, so just when you're making your motion.
Sure. I would like to remove LJ as the director for the campaigns committee. Actually, I'm looking here and I don't think he was actually ever put on as the chair. So he can stay on the committee.
What's been done in the past, as I understand it, is that when somebody is named a kind of director, like Katie was named the affiliate director, they were also named to the chair of the corresponding committee. Like it kind of creates a committee, if you will.
Correct. I don't think the committee ever met though, and I don't know if we ever said he was.
But the board did it. I'm pretty sure. I'm not certain. But if your motion says that he's not, then that will work.
Okay, I'm just going to say then I would like to motion that LJ is removed from the campaign director position and the campaign and as the campaign chair.
And as the campaign committee chair, right?
Yep. Yeah, sorry, campaign committee chair.
Thank you. And is there a second?
Second.
Pablo seconds. Is there any objection?
I have a question.
Sure.
Mhm. Before we lost contact, had he mentioned anything about some stuff going on or something that could have caused a problem?
We have had we've kind of been ghosted multiple times. if you will. And then each time he comes back, he renews his commitment to spend a lot of time on it and then ghosts
Okay.
us again. So
Okay.
it's been a pattern since he was appointed in, I want to say, March or something.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I am going to change my mind and go ahead and call for ayes and nays, just because I think that's better form for something like this rather than asking if there's no objection. So all in favor of removing LJ Mills as campaigns director and campaigns committee chair, please say aye.
I,
I,
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that is done. Is there anything else for campaigns before we move along?
Do I need to be elevated to director now, or?
Sure, at least.
If you would like to be, or you can just kind of do the stuff. Up to you.
I think I will be the point person for now, and with just the spoken idea that eventually I would like to find my replacement. But
So sorry, do you
I
want us to make a
desire
motion
to-
to appoint you then? Okay.
yes, please.
Great. All right, we have a small enough committee tonight that I'll go ahead and make the motion to appoint Will Hobson as the campaigns director and campaigns committee chair.
Second.
William Johnson Jr. seconds. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay.
Sorry, I didn't get my eye in there.
All right, congratulations. And anything, if there's anything else for campaigns, unless there's anything else for campaigns, we'll move along. All right, we are to fundraising. William Johnson Jr., your turn.
Congratulations, Will. You're gonna just take this whole board over here in a minute, you and Pablo. Like the radio show too, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
Listening, you guys are doing good. And please forgive me for being late. I had forgotten this was the earlier start time, and I'm just struggling getting this all done. I'm giving a spelling test here to sign. But I got nothing as far as campaigns as usual. I'm sorry, I'm still buried, and I should probably withdraw. I'm like LJ right here, but I'm still showing up. Albeit late, so I apologize. I don't know where we are in anything, but it's good to see you guys.
See you as well. I had just a quick question, but first I'll note for the meeting minutes
Yes,
that Tim Sipple is entering the room. I seem to recall that there was a question of an address to be used for PayPal and other things. And I think Pablo might know something about this as well.
Yeah, Pablo and Katie got together, but I never followed up on either one of them.
I have some more context here. I have the address. Now I just need to get banking information, which I'm assuming maybe William has, or Kenny? Okay, Kenny. And I will get that banking info, and we'll set up a PayPal, and we'll be able to set up an online store. I will follow up with Kenny. Kenny, I'm gonna send you an email.
Sounds great.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. That was just
Thank
the
you,
appropriate
Pablo.
time
You did
to address the question. And thank you, sir, for the report. And thank you for showing up. I mean, gotta say that, there's been past iterations of the board that was, they literally didn't have enough people showing up to conduct business, and they were meeting like only quarterly. So
I knew there was a meeting today. I even had my Ron Paul shirt on, but I forgot about the earlier time.
so having a butt in the seat is still an asset. Thank you.
Well, thank you for saying that. We'll get better.
All right, we are to public relations. Will.
Yeah, the Public Policy Board has started taking some public policy, and we've been trying to post it. I know we're now trying to figure out, or maybe I can ask you, Timothy, or you, Pablo, if the issues surrounding possible quorum problems have been figured out with the Public Policy Board.
Yeah, I can address that real quick. So there was basically a question raised by somebody, and it's probably good to have it reflected in the minutes that that an opinion was given from the chair. So, and the question was more or less along the lines of certain powers of the Public Policy Board require a 3/4 vote, and the question was basically, is that 3/4 of the entire population of the Public Policy Board, which has 11 members, or is it 3/4 of those that are present and voting? And the answer to that is that it's present and voting. That's how boards tend to work. That's how Congress works. That's how the legislature works. As long as you have met quorum, which is by default defined as, I believe, 50% of the membership of the body. In the case of the Public Policy Board, it's set higher. It's at 2/3 of the 11, which comes out to 8. So there needs to be at least 8 people to conduct business. But as long as there are 8 people, they can exercise those powers, and it's just calculated as a fraction of those that are present. And it explicitly says as much in the relevant bylaw, where it states in Article 6, Section 2B, the Public Policy Board is empowered with a 2/3 quorum requirement to, and then goes on to list powers and voting thresholds. So that language would go contrary to the notion that those voting thresholds that immediately follow this language are calculated based on the full population instead of the 2/3 quorum requirement.
Excellent. Glad to hear.
So that is my opinion.
Okay.
And I was part of the drafting process of I wasn't the primary author, but I was part of the drafting process of that amendment, and I know that that was our intent.
Okay. Fantastic. So yeah, now that that's been cleared up, now I can go back to making those public policy, putting those public policy statements on our social media. I know Pablo's done a lot of really great work on posting them on the website and making those available, which looks great. Thank you, Pablo. As far as other public relations goes, we had our Halloween shindig at Puff's Pub in Gresham. I think it was the weekend before last, and that was pretty well attended. It was a good time. We're starting to have more in-person events again, which raises my spirits, and I think everyone else's. And it's just nice to have a libertarian that has a venue where we can go and kind of be our libertarian selves. Oh, I should have mentioned this in my vice chair's report, but I also sent I did draft and send a small report to our regional rep, Miguel, and he did apparently bring that to the LNC meeting that happened last weekend. And if anybody needs that report that I sent out or would like it, I can send that to you. So,
would you be willing to just go ahead and forward that to the board Google group?
Sure, I can do that.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah. Hopefully, I didn't say anything that was too far off. From what
you overstepped. I just know it. All right.
I think I balanced optimism with some acknowledgement of some areas where we could do better. So,
all right. Well, most of us including me, who's been on the board for the longest, are pretty new to this. So,
Exactly.
all right,
Question.
go ahead.
And maybe it's because I had to dip out of the last meeting early, but you mentioned some policies getting posted. What policies have we adopted?
We did adopt the Yemen war resolution, where we took a strong stance against the war in Yemen, and that our foreign policy should be withdraw and ending the blockade, ending weapons shipments to Saudi Arabia, things of that nature. Supporting the legislation that's currently in place, well, not currently in place, but is drafted right now in Congress and in the Senate to basically enforce war powers resolutions against the president to end that war. And then I know the Public Policy Board was also working on a bunch of other things. Right now I'm blanking. I could, Kenny, are you in the Discord group?
Yeah, but I rarely check it.
Okay, I did make a small subsection for the Public Policy Board, and all board members have access to it. If you'd like. Oh yeah, Pablo's got some right there. Defend the Guard. Yes, I'm sorry. Of course, Defend the Guard. Are you familiar with Defend the Guard?
Not off the top of my head. I'm
Yeah,
gonna guess it's something about not nationalizing the National Guard and sending them overseas.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Very, very broad strokes. Without a resolution of war, our National Guard cannot be deployed overseas, essentially. So, and
also the death penalty, as I recall.
yes, the death penalty, that was a good one too. I'm so sorry, I was blanking out the other ones that had come up, but yeah, they're really good.
And those are still being discussed, or we adopted some?
I think now that we've determined that there are no quorum issues, that these are all ones that have passed.
So all of those, I believe, were adopted in meetings, and then after the meeting, the question came up as to whether that vote needed to be of the full board or of.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Quorum.
Yeah. All right, that's my report.
And Pablo has put those in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Pablo.
All right. Any further questions for public relations? Okay, thank you, Will. We will move along to, so I paused when I was creating this agenda this evening. I suddenly wasn't sure whether data and website had been combined into an IT committee. Pablo, do you recall whether we did that?
They have not. They have not. I've been
not.
sort
Okay.
of noodling on what that structure should be, and I'll send an email out to the board. Apologies. It's been a
Okay,
little-
no, that's totally
late on
fine. I
that.
just wanted to make sure that the agenda reflected the current state of things. Okay, in that case, you are the data director. Go ahead.
Super. Since we last met, I've gotten access to the LPO CRM and the LPO email marketing app, and I've been reviewing the data in that. I've also took in from the Secretary of State in Oregon voter file and hosted it locally into a database. And I'm researching ways that we can make this data more easily available to qualified individuals with a priority on making sure the data is secure. In addition to that, I've also distributed the data to voter data at the proper district level for relevant candidates who requested it, as well as county organizers who are starting up their affiliates. And I created some other derivative data points that I shared out, and I'll share out in an email after this. But I was able to go through by county and determine what the number of individuals were in order for them to form an affiliate in terms of having quorum. It's either 5 or another number. So I created a list of that, and I'll keep that updated as I take in other data. I also went by zip and counted how many active libertarians there are in each zip code. So if you are interested in numbers and want to know like where the density of libertarians are in Oregon, move to Sherman County, where fully 1% of their voting population is active libertarians. And that is my update. Are there any questions?
Sounds great.
Too
Thanks.
many questions to pose during this meeting. But most of them would be answered, I'm sure, by poring over some of those. I did want to say real quick that just for future consideration, if you are distributing data to candidates or volunteers, a great way to do that potentially is using Civi CRM, because in order to access the CRM, they have to sign an NDA, and then we don't need to worry about anything related to that.
That was my follow-up question is Civi CRM is what the LP National uses?
Yes.
Yes, I probably would need your help getting onboarded to that because I don't think I currently have access.
Oh, I see. You were talking about the Nation Builder CRM.
Yeah, Nation Builder CRM, the
Right.
LPO CRM.
There, I follow. Okay. We should get you squared away on that. All right. Let's talk after the meeting, see if we can get that done. All right, just for the meeting minutes, Travis West has joined the meeting as an observer. Welcome. All right, moving along then to website. I haven't touched the website. Pablo has touched the website a little bit, so if you have anything that you'd like to put in here, that would be great.
Yeah, I have a few updates. I added a news center and now made it a real blog, and so that we can add relevant pieces of news, like if we have upcoming events or if we have other content we want to share, we can do so more easily. If you go to the LPO website and you hit news, you'll see things like the resolutions now exist as content there. I also updated the front page to put at Will's request the email opt-in form front and center, so we can grow our email list. I've also updated the affiliate page to reflect that the Libertarian Party of Oregon has 2 affiliates, one that is probably going to be an official chapter of the Libertarian Party of Oregon, the Libertarian Party of Sherman County, and a PAC, Multnomah Libertarians, which is not an LP, but is wishes to be affiliated with the organization. So those are updates to the website that I've made. The other thing I've done is I've looked at a tool called LastPass. It's a password manager that stores encrypted passwords online so that we can share access to sensitive tools like CRMs through that without having to share the actual password. And I'm also writing an IT committee description, which would fuse the data and the website committees together. So we could be a little more efficient and sort of recruit more people who could do things to help us get our word out on data and on the internet and in email, because libertarians live online and we're pretty good at it. I think we should use that to our advantage. So that is my update for the website.
Good. Are there any questions relating to the website? Okay.
And I realize I said a lot. I have some slides if it's easier to follow what I just said through writing and pictures, that's screenshots.
Thank you. And that is in the chat for anyone who would like to see it. Moving along then, and thank you again for the help on that report, Pablo. Katie is not present to present an affiliate report. I was kind of hoping that she was going to present stuff related to Sherman County. But seeing as she isn't, and also we don't really have as many of, we don't have as much of the board on deck as I would like. Perhaps we'll just table that till our next meeting. Does that work for people, or? I could probably go and find it, but I haven't reviewed it in detail.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that yeah, it looks like Sherman County has formed their affiliate, or from what I can tell. I'm super excited about that. And congratulations to Travis West and all the hard work he's been doing out there. And also we've had some luck forming our county affiliate social media accounts online, and they're starting to get active and working in synergy with each other. And we're needed to form maybe a couple other on some other social media networks, but the ball is getting rolling on our affiliate strategy.
Question, Will. Should we be listing those social media accounts for the affiliated LPO folks on the website?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Will do.
Thank you. Yeah, and maybe we'll try to get see if anyone has any extra bandwidth to do like a few on Instagram and a few on Facebook, and maybe a couple other places where we might find people.
All right. Thank you,
To
everyone.
answer your
go
question,
ahead.
Timothy, I am absolutely in the mood to table anything to the next meeting that you might want to.
All right, well, we are nearly to the end. Member development, that would be Peter Vandenberg. I
Peter,
know,
I was going to say, yeah, Peter is away on business. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I know that Peter shouldn't be available this evening because of stuff, as you were saying. But I also know that he pretty regularly is engaging with our membership in the Discord, and that he's regularly posting on social media and using the Libertarian Party Mises Caucus to recruit more people into the party. So his absence tonight is not a poor reflection on him. Does anybody have anything for member development? Hearing none, we'll move along. Thank you.
Just one question. I'm not sure if we've added Brad Lee to that committee, but I believe that is something Peter had discussed interest, and Brad.
Let me check.
I feel like Bradley was added to something.
Yeah, it does sound familiar to me.
He was appointed as
Yeah.
a director, but then I thought he was added to a committee or two.
I think we wanted to get him on the campaign stuff. I think we were seeing if he would. Right now, I have for the member development committee, I have Peter Vandenberg as the chair, Pablo Serrato, and Leon Noble.
All right.
That's
Well,
there.
Pablo, the member development committee can add its own members. So if you and Peter and or Leon talk to Bradley and determine that he wants to be on, then you guys can just make it so and let us know when you next report.
Will do.
Next present a report for member development.
Has
Great.
anyone heard from Leon recently?
He's fairly active in the Discord.
That's true. I remember seeing it. I just didn't know if anyone had talked to him since the election.
I haven't
I believe he's
spoken.
been active in there.
Yeah.
Today and yesterday, but I don't know about. Yeah, I guess I'm not sure exactly what information you're looking for. So, and also, I probably wouldn't know the information. I just saw that it was on there when I poked in there today.
No,
Yeah.
no worries. Thank you.
I've put a lot of effort in making sure the Discord is the main communication hub now, because I don't trust Facebook. But
All right. There are no special orders, unfinished and new business. The 2023 LPO Convention Committee. Bill, I saw you put out a call for a meeting. Did that happen?
I did want I wanted to ask what times people were available, and then no one followed up with me. So I'm probably just going to set a meeting here pretty soon in about a week or two. Probably I'm going to try to do it before Thanksgiving. I said, considering our finances, that we don't even have the money to put down the $2,500 deposit for the Agate Beach Inn, I am going to be actively encouraging people to find cheaper replacement venues. I am looking kind of in the Willamette Valley I-5 corridor in small towns for like small like movie theaters that maybe could act as a good one-day convention cheap alternative. And I actually got a hot tip from Sonia FinTech last night that the Free Oregon, one of the Free Oregon town halls that was really big was held in a dance studio in Tigard. And this studio apparently like resisted all mandates throughout the entire lockdowns and apparently are very friendly to freedom-minded liberty people. So I am going to
That's a hot tip.
I know, right? And apparently it can hold up to 200, 300 people. So this would be a really good get if we could get something like that. So I am going to follow up with her and yeah, then make contact and see if we can have it there.
Yeah. I had a
as well.
question for Pablo, but go ahead, Kenny.
Well, I was going to suggest if we're looking for cheaper alternatives for like a one-day thing, I would look into Granges. They often will rent them out for a day for pretty reasonable prices.
Yeah. Thank you. I have been looking at some Granges.
Okay.
Just haven't found anything that looked great. Yeah. But yeah, near cheap or a free to very cheap dance studio for one day that could hold several hundred people and be in Tigard would be great. We could almost start to talk about, maybe trying to fund some kind of like, spending our money trying to fund some kind of like a, lodging for, members of the party that can't afford it if they can get there, and we could, put our money towards something else. But I definitely think we need to be thrifty, and I'm going to try to encourage the members of the convention committee to start thinking in that manner.
All right. Anything else for the convention committee? I had a question. I think I saw on the LPO Oregon website events page possibly, or maybe somewhere else, there were some dates put up related to it. And I wondered where they had come from.
Yes, they came from information I got from the campaign, from the convention committee. And I'm not sure how real those are. But I thought it would be good to have some messaging that we are having a campaign, a convention in 2023. And I'm not like a huge fan of the date. It's a weekend. It's a holiday weekend. It's Memorial Day. But in the absence of other information, I put it up there with a timer. Easily, it's in code, so it's really easy to change if we need to.
Sure.
Would you want me to take it down?
Our bylaws have pretty specific requirements about notice, like what constitutes notice.
45 days or so, right?
Right, and we're supposed to have 45 days or so, but also just like the form that notice is supposed to take. And so I'm not sure if putting incomplete and or inaccurate, like not actually locked down information.
Right.
could
The
be a
notice was
violation of
include
that.
time, place, and proposed program of the convention. So we're about 200 days out from the convention. So I believe we can totally edit it down. But yes, we do have a drop dead date. So do we think the convention is going to be closer than 45 days? Or do we just want to risk it?
It can't be.
It has to be in the spring.
Right, it has to be in the spring of 2023. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I would just say, like, yes, for now, I think we should take it down just in case we, if the dance studio for some reason says like, oh, Memorial Day is a hard no, like, and that's like our like shining best example, and it's just like the day just doesn't work. I'd rather get that information down as quickly as possible, and then just have like a notice saying like, sorry, a previous date that was stated was incorrect. Like the date now is here and it's in Tigard and whatnot. So yes, I think Leon was very jumped the gun a little bit and was really trigger happy to like get his time and date out there really fast. And for now, I think the committee needs to discuss it.
Right, so Pablo,
It's down.
the
Thank you.
sentence that says the notice must include the time, place, and proposed program of the convention. I don't think anybody's gonna come sue us over just putting up a date that is a hypothetical, but let's just not give ourselves trouble.
We
So,
had been sued
good.
before and would not like to repeat the experience.
Yeah, with $892.
I'm looking
in the
right at
bank.
Tim Sipple, and I totally agree. I will not. I took it down.
Don't get sued like Tim.
I was lucky
Oh.
I didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
How'd the lawsuit go?
Well, we
the-
are now to open forum, so I think this is a perfect time for Tim to speak on any item that he wishes and tell us all about it.
Well done, Timothy. You're a good meeting runner.
Yeah, so the judge, it wasn't really unexpected, has a preliminary ruling against me. I mean, she looked kind of biased during the trial. But my attorney is planning on appealing it, assuming that we can find more funds to cover that. She basically decided that the prosecution expert witnesses are more credible than the defense expert witnesses, and she just wrote down everything that they told her, which I don't believe she was really doing her job. She was not interpreting the contract correctly and not really interpreting the Oregon statute correctly either.
Can you discuss what funding level is needed for the next step?
The estimate I heard is 10 to 20K. And I think for the trial, I think there was something like 50K that went into it.
So already spent 50, and then to get going
Yeah.
on the next round need, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that a lot of your investment in that 50 was the upfront. So a lot of that work then is usable on your next run at it.
Yeah, so for the appeal, my understanding is there's actually no other testimony. It's just a matter of the attorneys filing briefs and pointing out, or I guess quoting testimony from the court hearing, from the
Right.
original court hearing.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Is there anything else for open forum? Travis, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. This is Travis West from Sherman County. Just wanted to let everyone know that looking at election results, it appears that I've won the city council seat in the city of Morrow. And not a huge surprise, I was running unopposed. And then wanted to bring it to everyone's attention that we actually had a second city councilor by the name of James Alley, who officially joined the Libertarian Party of Oregon just in September. And he's pretty active, passionate. He's actually our vice chair for our county party right now.
So also in the same town of Morrow.
Yes, sir. And
That is great to
all I
hear.
have.
Thank you so much for letting us know.
Nice. How many city councilors are there?
Our city has 4 and a mayor.
Ooh, so we almost control a city. Nice.
More.
All right, keep working on them.
Sherman County also has the highest percentage of registered active libertarians in Oregon. So yeah, I think it's still not as good as it could be, but I think these are really positive steps. You're punching way above your weight.
All right, fantastic. Thank you again. Anyone else for open forum? Okay, I just want to, Travis, your hand is still up, I think, or is it a new hand raise? Okay, thank you. I just want to say this could have probably been part of my chair's report, but I want to focus on kind of creating procedures and documentation of the processes that go on behind the scenes for the LPO. Kind of focus in on that leading up to our next convention. So, document how we run our internal elections, document how we register candidates with the state of Oregon, that type of stuff, so that we can preserve some of our institutional knowledge. And part of the reason for that is that I'm not expecting to run for chair again this next round. I'm not currently planning to run for the board again. I have 5 children and lots of good things going on in my life that I would like to focus on for a while. And anyway, if you have something that you think I should be helping to document, then that would be good for me to know. So go ahead and shoot me an email, terry@lporegon.org. And I will take that into consideration.
It sounds like we need a director handbook, almost.
Something along those lines, yeah.
All right. Well, then I'll try to think of questions to ask you, and we'll try to start hammering that out.
Bad news, some big shoes to fill, Timothy.
Yeah.
Well,
I
thank you.
only like size 9 or so.
Yeah, sure. You know. But yeah, good idea.
All right.
Handbook.
The
You've been a fantastic chair.
Thank you. The next meeting is set by policy for December 14th. Does that work for everyone who's here?
As far as I know.
Is it going to be 7 p.m. again?
It would be 8:30. We haven't actually changed the policy. We only made a special motion for this meeting that we're currently in. Given that we don't have everyone here, I'm a little reluctant to change the policy, but if we want to make another exception for the next meeting.
I definitely like getting done earlier. Rachel, does it help you? I know you have to get to bed fairly early, so does the earlier time help you?
Yeah, this is awesome.
I would suggest we target 7 o'clock for December.
I'll if that's a motion, I'll second it.
Yes, that was a motion.
Okay, so sorry, could you just restate it real quick?
I move that the next board meeting be December 14th, 2022 at 7 p.m.
All right, and will you second that?
Yes.
All right. Is there any objection? Okay, in that case, we are done, and it took us just under an hour. How about that?
Nice. That's like record for us.
Yeah.
It's pretty close. All right, Pablo, I think you and I had a couple things to discuss, but other than that, thank you, everyone. Also appreciate our observers coming. Travis, again, thank you for letting us know about the additional city councilor. Did he get elected or reelected as well?
No, he's still halfway in his term.
Oh, okay. Staggered terms. Got it.
Yep.
Good. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
All right.